And so let's have a look at how we can cultivate hope and what some of the elements for hope are. So generally, hope researchers, and it's been a real thing over the last decade, agree that there's three elements that need to be present for hope to exist. The first is that you need to have a clear vision about what you want. Like what is your dream? What are you actually hoping for? Like it could be in your personal life, at a work project, like just having some future goal is the first thing. The second thing is that you need to have agency to be able to take action towards that goal. If you have absolutely no power to move in the world or move in your life in a way that gives you agency, that then compromises your ability to hope. And the third one that they said is that you need to have a pathway or a strategy to get there. It doesn't have to be, in fact, the more complex your goal or your aim, you won't have the whole pathway. But you need to have, a bit like Hansel and Gretel, you need to have those breadcrumbs along the way that you can kind of see roughly where you're kind of headed. And at least be able to know what your next step is, what my next move is. So those are the three things that hope researchers say need to be present for hope to be present. And a bit like a three-legged stool, if one of those legs are away and you've only got two of those elements, then hope, it's very hard to be hopeful. But I really feel that there's a fourth element as well. And for me, that is a belief that the future that you hope for, that you dream for, is possible. And that can be really tough because it's not about having the guarantees or even feeling confident that you can deliver this outcome for yourself, but you know that it's possible. And for me, it was this sort of hope that kept me engaged in the Hunger Project for more than 2 decades, this belief. I believe that we can create a world where there's no hunger. Now, will it happen in my lifetime? Maybe, if I live for a very long time. But I know it's possible. And that gives me hope. And with that, I have agency to take action with it, and it gives me my next move to make. So I feel that we often confuse hope, and particularly when we're looking out into the world right now, it's very understandable that we've lost hope. And in fact, the lack of hope can then create this sort of despair and cynicism. But I don't look for proof that the world that I dream for and that I long for and that I believe we deserve, I believe that it can happen. And I therefore take the action that's mine to take, showing my agency to help bring it about. But I'm not daunted by the percentage, whether it will or it won't. I'm able to be comfortable and lead through the ambiguity. And I think this is a really key component of hope, is in spite of all the ambiguity, and in fact, even in spite of the odds being against you in whatever it is that you're wanting to accomplish, hope does give us that fire and that momentum to dream and to help bring something about, as long as you believe that it's possible and you can live with it not happening, certainly not, maybe not happening in your lifetime. So I'd love to hear what you think about hope. What's your relationship to it? Are you sort of more sentimental and kind of mushy about hope, or are you sort of more like a warrior person, clear-eyed, know what the obstacles are, know what it's going to take, and know that you may not make it, but you're hopeful enough to throw yourself into the arena and fight the fight that needs to happen, for whatever it is that you're wanting to bring about. So I'd love to hear what you have to say, and that's our reflections on hope.